Hey guys, and welcome to In Play Runs, the prediction show. This will be the final show before we go live in 3 weeks' time for opening Sunday of the season, when we get back to what we love doing, covering all the games and making sure you guys are fully informed in what's going on. But in the meantime, we thought, let's get the gang together and let's do a nice little prediction show. So, welcome if you're watching on YouTube, and welcome if you're listening to the PTBNL podcast. This will be going straight to podcast as soon as we have finished recording. But it is myself, Dave Shaw, at UK Phillies, and I am joined by, first of all, George. George, how are you, mate?
Very good, thank you. Very good. How are you? How's your winter been?
Good. Yeah, really good so far. Enjoying spring training. Eager for the 1st of April to get going. I'm sure you are as well. The Astros having a pretty torrid spring so far.
Yeah, it's not been great, but I think we all know it's not the real thing. It's just important that they get through it in one piece. And yeah, I think just bring on the 1st of April and the real deal. That's what we're looking forward to.
Absolutely. Thank you, George. Next up, Nick. Nick, of course, from the LA Angels. Nick, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Cheers, Dave. Hope you're doing well.
All
good to see you.
All good, mate. As yourself, enjoying spring so far? 2 weeks in?
As much as anyone can enjoy spring. It's always nice to have a bit of hope, isn't it? Everyone's hopeful during the spring. But you mentioned April 1st there, Dave. I'm looking forward to April 12th more, just to get rid of this.
Mate, me and you, and a lot of people, buddy. Me and you, a lot of people. And, of course, Jack. Jack, how are you, mate, from the Yankees?
Yes, Dave, I'm good, mate. Good that we're getting one step closer to baseball season. That's why I look at another show. Shows we're a little bit closer. Predictions pod always shows we're getting close, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. Like I said, start the show 3 weeks before we all go back live and all go back to predicting, covering the shows and see if our predictions do come to light. We're also joined by Mike from the Cubs, the UK Cubs. Mike, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good, Dave. How's it going?
All good, mate. All good. Good to see you. Enjoying spring training? Cubs going okay so far?
We're doing okay, mate. I'll enjoy it more now that we've relaxed the rules a bit. I mean, I'm going to go to minimum 7 innings per game, so no rollovers. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. How are you?
You're all good, mate. All good. As I say, I'm buzzing for this show, buzzing for 3 weeks' time, buzzing for the season to start like I think everybody else is at the moment. And I am joined by Nathan from the White Sox UK. Nathan, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, Dave. How are you?
All good, mate. All good. And the White Sox, how's it looking? One of the favourites for the Central, of course.
I'm not surprised there. We're favourites every year. Well, we should be favourites every year. One of the best in baseball.
And it begins. All right. So we're going to go through the predictions, all the division predictions, wild cards, World Series winners, MVP, Cy Young, home run, and anything else we can think of as well. Anything that you guys also have in chat. Let us know what you think. Let's start with the show, shall we? Let's start with the show. So let's go with the divisions. Let's go with George. George, you're first on this, mate. Let's get your beautiful face up on screen. There we are. George, right. Here we go. Divisional winners. Let's start with the AL West, shall we? Your division, you know this all too well. Let's go from 5th to 1st. And let's have it.
Yeah. I think the Rangers will be propping things up at the bottom. I don't think they've done much to really suggest they're going to be doing any damage. I still think it's not quite time for the Mariners. I think they will be good in maybe a couple of years. They've got some young talents there. Players like Kyle Lewis, who we a thorn in our side going forward. He certainly was last year, even in the shortened season. But not their time just yet. I don't think, despite the fact that I think the Angels will be better, I don't think the Angels will be challenging for the actual division at all this season. I think you'll find them probably just above 500. I think they'll be in 3rd. And I think that it's going to be a race between the Astros, ourselves, and the A's again. I think that people are underrating the Astros this year. We did lose George Springer, a massive piece. So I think that any team would struggle losing that production, but keeping Michael Brantley was a big boost. I think that we'll prevail in the division. I think it won't be anywhere near the 100-win seasons that we had before. I think probably be around, I'm saying 91 wins for us. I think that the A's will probably be 4 or 5 games back. But yeah, I think the A's will be in the wildcard hunt. That's where I see the AL West.
Oof. And NL West.
NL West, it's got to be Dodgers winning that. I've got them down for 105 wins. I think they'll absolutely decimate that division, even with the Padres being as good as they are. I think the Padres will be comfortably in second. I don't think there's much to challenge them there, looking with the exciting lineup they've got and all the new pieces they've got, pitching and the explosive offense that they've got, which are carrying forward from last year, which is nowhere near its kind of peak yet. So I think they'll easily be in second. Probably get again. I've sort of gone for around, I think 98 wins maybe for them. I think they'll just destroy the other three teams in that division. Between them and the Dodgers is going to be a real tussle going forward. I realize I've not done that going from the back. So let's go. Let's say Rockies at the bottom. I think it's having lost Arenado. I think that they look to be on a kind of sort of depressing slide. I'm going to go D-backs fourth, Giants third, and then Padres, and then Dodgers to win.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty familiar story throughout people's predictions in the West. Okay, that's the West for yourself, Dan. So let's go to Nick's AL and NL prediction in the West. Nick, first of all, starting with the NL, how do you reckon it's going to go, mate?
Starting with the NL. So I have gone very similar. I mean, George has said quite a lot there on the divisions. Not much left for me to say, but the Rockies are going to be at the bottom there. I've got the Giants in fourth and the Diamondbacks in third. I like the Diamondbacks' young pitch in there. I see potential. See potential to get up to
Jordan
third.
will be happy. D-backs UK will be happy with that.
Yeah. And then I think the two big ones at the top, Padres, who will be the first wild card, and Dodgers. Unfortunately, going to continue their mad record. Hopefully it doesn't lead to another World Series, though. We can all dream.
Well, I can't see past the Dodgers. And, of course, in your division, the AL West. Nick, what are you saying? Come on.
So this is
Angels
again
hype. Come on.
where I'm gonna differ from George. Although the Rangers are going to be in fifth place, I think we're all agreed on that. I don't think even Rangers fans really want to watch them this year. The Mariners in fourth. I think they're still rebuilding. They're a couple of years off, but they've got some nice pieces. I think they expect to be up around May, June time. So I could see the Mariners getting better as the season goes on. This is when it probably gets very interesting. I'm saying the Astros in third place in the division.
Whoa.
Third place. I think the regression is real, right? That rotation is a lot weaker than it has been in years gone by. They've lost George Springer. Even getting Brantley back from the Blue Jays, whilst that's a boost to them, I don't think it's enough. So I'm going with it. Astros in third. We're then going for a resurgent Angels side in second and grabbing a second wildcard spot. It's going to be big. We'll get to it later. There's going to be some big years for the Angels players this year. I mean, Mike Trout's going to be Mike Trout. Rendon over a full season, going to be unbelievable. Shohei on the mound. Shohei hitting bombs. Second place, wildcard spot. The rotation's going to be a bit better. And then we got the Athletics, who are just sneaky good always. I mean, they just put it all together.
Love it.
We spoke to Opening Day UK the other day. He just thinks the rotation's going to be good. The bullpen could be really good. They've got hitting pieces. So, yeah.
Awesome.
A's 1, Angels 2, Astros 3.
Charles Baldwin says that he's got the Dodgers at 108, San Diego Padres at 95, Giants at 85, Arizona 77, Rockies 66. Guys, if you're watching, get your predictions in the chat. It's good to see you, Luke, as well, joining in the comments. Everyone, if you're watching, let's have your predictions. What do you reckon? We're just covering the West so far. Let's go to Jack. Jack, my man, what have you got for let's go with the AL West. What have you got, mate?
To be truthfully honest, both NL and AL, I'm pretty much going to echo what the guys have already said, to be honest. I don't think there'll be too many. Again, I'm going Rangers to finish bottom of the West, then the Mariners. I'm going with George on this one. I think the Angels will go third. I'm not sharing Nick's optimism, unfortunately. This is the tough bit of the division for me. Again, I've gone A's instead of Astros. As much as I don't want to see the Astros do anything good in baseball at all, I'm going A's. I think the Astros will just, let's say, as George said, it's not going to be the 100 plus win seasons anymore. They're sort of gone for the time being. I think you still got that core of Altuve and Correa and Brantley, and the hitting is still there just about, I think. So yeah, I think sort of experience might tell for the Astros that side. The West, again, it's pretty self-explanatory. The West, isn't it? It's Rockies, Diamondbacks, Giants, Padres, Dodgers. I think that's going to be a familiar one on that one, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a top five for everybody. Let's see what Mike's got. Mike, is your NL West pretty similar to that, mate?
It is, yeah. Obviously, Rockies bottom, but by a good way. Diamondbacks, I reckon fourth. I reckon Giants might get third, and then Padres second, Dodgers first. The only problem I have with that is that will mean that it will be a wild card Padres versus first, probably the NL Dodgers, and that should probably be a National League Championship Series. But
Interesting.
unfortunately, I think they're going to play each other in divisional. So that's my NL West. The AL, I went Rangers bottom, Mariners fourth, but I went Oakland third, Angels second, Houston
Oh,
first.
you're buying the Angels hype.
Go on,
I
Ryan.
am. I don't know. It's probably because I like Nick and I want him to win. But I'd like to see the Angels at least get a wild card.
Well, all right. Angels second and a couple of wild card shouts already. And last but not least, Nathan, what have you got for the AL West?
AL West, I've gone, no surprise, Rangers last. I see them first draft pick, winning maybe 40 games. Then after that, I've got Mariners, same as everyone else. And then my top three, I think, differ a little bit. I've got the A's coming third this year, with the Angels taking second spot, and then the Astros. They're just going to own that division this year, I think. Even with a weaker bullpen, I think they walk the division again this year. They get back their crown.
Interesting. And of course, the NL West.
The NL, no surprise. Rockies last. Yeah. The Rockies, then Diamondbacks fourth, Giants third. Then I've got the Padres second. I don't think the Padres are as good as everyone makes them out to be. I think
Really?
they're going to be good, but I think they're easily beatable. And then I'll have the Dodgers. They're going to win over 100 games, 105 probably.
I think 105 is a good ballpark mark there for a lot of people. I've got what have I got for the AL West? I've got Rangers and 70. I've got Mariners 74. Angels 82, A's 85, Astros 87. I think it's going to be a close division. Like everyone said, I think the Astros are going to regress slightly. I think they're going to nick it from the A's, but I think the Angels may be there or thereabouts. And if they can keep that Ohtani fully fit and keep injuries down to a minimum, I think they're going to be there or thereabouts come September. NL West, Rockies 68. Sorry, UK Rockies. It's going to be a brutal season, I think. D-back 76. I've got Giants in third with 77. I think they're going to be pretty close. But yeah, Padres 93 and Dodgers. I've got 101. The national side's quite tough. You know, Padres, apart from the division, Padres will give them the closest competition. But the Giants are improving. The Giants always get some wins off the Dodgers. And then I think the NL East boys should take some wins off them as well. So I think the Dodgers, I'm not going to go as high as 105. I'm going to go 101. Beautiful. That is the West covered. Charles' Astros, A's, wild card for the Angels. Another wild card for the Angels. Mariners and the Rangers. Interesting. But that's pretty much the same as well. Right, George. AL Central. What are you saying, mate?
AL Central. This is a tricky division to kind of work out, because I don't know how good the Indians are. In terms of the order I've got the Tigers propping things up at the bottom. Royals, I think I'm interested to see how. I think didn't Benintendi's gone to the Royals, isn't he? I think he's gone there. I'm quite interested to see whether he's able to bounce back at all. I know he's not not going to completely lift the team on his own, but I think that they'll be all right. And then this is where it gets tricky. I think that between the Indians and the Twins, it's difficult to pick. I've gone Twins third, Indians second, and the White Sox to make good on that potential that they've shown. I think they will win that division. I don't know if they're going to crush it, but I think that they'll win that battle. But I think it's really difficult to pick. Really, really difficult between the Indians and the Twins. I'm honestly not sure.
Come on, George. Not the fence.
No, I've said Twins third, Indians second. But in terms of just, am I confident in that? Not really.
Interesting. All right, and NL Central again. This could be tough for that second place below.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think in terms of the winners, pretty straightforward. But let's go from the bottom. I think the Pirates are going to be poor. It's not going to be anything.
Putting it
not going to
nicely.
be. Yeah, I think they're probably going to be the worst in the whole of the NL. But yeah, so you've got the Pirates. I think the Brewers probably in fourth.
Interesting. Many people got Brewers as second.
Really, might just be ignorance on my part, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. And Mike's gonna like it, but I feel like the Cubs will be able to get enough together to finish second over the Reds in third. Again, that's just a sort of gut feeling that may be proven horribly wrong as the season pans out. And I think the Cardinals will win it at canter.
Interesting. No one likes vanilla, says Rockies for pick number 1. That's a very badly run team. And Johnny Wurzel says, looking forward to the Padres-Dodgers tussle in NL West. Somebody agreed with Nathan. Charles, I agree with Nathan. The Padres' depth isn't great. We'll soon see. Nick, what have you got for the AL Central, mate?
The AL Central. So I've gone slightly different to George, although I am saying Tigers at the foot of the division. I've actually got the Indians in 4th place.
Yes, so have I. Yes.
Got the Indians in 4th. Their cheapness has got to come back and bite them at some point. The Royals, I think, are on the way up, aren't they? They're going to be better this year. I've got the Royals in 3rd. I've got the Twins in 2nd, and also the Twins grabbing a wild card spot, and the White Sox at the top of the division.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I've got mine. And NL Central.
So I'm going to have to change this one after Mike's nice comments because I also like Mike. So Pirates, I mean, goes without saying the Pirates are going to be bottom of that division. I don't think you'll find anyone that disagrees, not even the most ardent Pirates fan. I've got the Reds in 4th. Maybe that's just ignorance on my part, but when you see them selling pieces in the offseason, when they give away their closer, for instance, to us for peanuts, you can't expect them to be putting together much on the field. Then in 3rd place, I'll put the Brewers. I think the Brewers could easily be in 2nd. With the Cubs, they're quite interchangeable, but I have got the Cubs in 2nd. Now I do anyway. And the Cardinals on top.
Yeah. Are we in agreement that the Cardinals should...
I mean, they
comfortably win that Central.
Win that division. They're the most well-rounded team, I would say.
Yeah. And Arnando, just a beautiful piece for, again, peanuts and more. You know, getting paid to take Arnando is just mental. What is going on there? Jack, NL Central. What have you got for the NL Central?
I would love to say I've got something totally different to the boys again, but unfortunately, it's going to be a much sort of repeating what they're saying again. It's going to be Pirates, the worst team in baseball. I think everyone can agree with that one. The Reds, Milwaukee. I'm going Cubs as well to finish 2nd. Again, that could just be because Mike's a nice guy. You know what I mean? But the Cards run away. I think everyone else in the NLE Central has done their best to not try and win.
Yeah.
Apart from the Cardinals, so that should be a fairly easy win for them in that division, at least this year anyway.
Would you say the Orioles are better than the Pirates? You're saying Pirates are worst in baseball?
Yeah, I think Pirates are by far the worst team.
So the Orioles have come a long way since last year's prediction show when we had them as 10.
Yeah,
10 wins.
I don't necessarily think that's the Orioles getting better. I think it's just the Pirates have just got that whole lot, taking it to a new level, that really bad.
Yeah.
Getting rid of every player. I'm surprised they've got anyone even left in the system or in their team, really. AL Central, I've gone Tigers finish bottom again, same as the guys. I'm going Royals, then Indians, mainly because the Royals are improving, as George said. They've got Benintendi, who's had the potential to be a Yankee killer, so I'm happy he's not on the Red Sox no more. Indians could just be sort of ignorance. I think they're still good when they're probably not. Then Twins, and again with everyone else, White Sox winning that one.
Yeah.
Winning that division.
I'd say the Indians, for me, are probably just on the brink of a rebuild. They're going to regress. I think this will be the last year they're even getting near the Twins and White Sox. I think it could be the White Sox's little era in the AL Central, actually. Mike, right, this is involving one of your boys, the Cubs. NL Central.
Yeah, I feel like the AL Central has handed over to the NL Central the baton for the worst.
Yeah, it's a good comparison.
In the MLB this year. Pirates, like Jack said, it's between Pirates and Rockies for the worst team in the MLB this year, and I think Pirates just pip it. They are such a bad team. Pirates 5th, Reds 4th, because with Bauer going, they've got nothing. I don't think they've got much left. And then I've gone Brewers 3rd, and obviously because I'm a Cubs fan, Cardinals second, Cubs
Oh,
first.
mate, no, come on, no. There's bias. Come on.
I think if it all clicks, and yeah, I know it's if it all clicks, but I think we can still pick it.
Oh boy.
But that's my prediction for AL Central. Well, let's get rid of the Tigers and the Royals straight off, fourth and fifth.
Oh.
Indians third, and I'm going to go against the grain again. As much as the White Sox have improved, I think they get second, and I
There's
still
that
think
bias again.
Twins have got enough. I think Twins have got enough to just hold them off.
Interesting. I think me and you are going to sound like a broken record of if it clicks for our teams. Luke Reed says Cardinals, Brewers, Cubs, Reds, and Pirates for the NL Central. And Charles Barwin says Cardinals by loads, which is probably going to come to fruition. Brewers, Reds, Cubs, Pirates, lowest wins in the NL was 66.
Hang on, Charles. Calm down. Cubs fourth.
Well, it's yeah. Uh-oh. Wait till mine. Nathan, White Sox. Right, is this the turn of the White Sox now?
Well, I'll start with AL Central. We'll just quickly put the Royals and Tigers. That's fifth and fourth. They're not going to do much. They're in a rebuild, so they'll be in the corner. Then I've got the Indians third. I think they're cheap. They've traded away great talent, and it's going to cost them. And as we said earlier, they're going into a rebuild, and this is the time for the White Sox to take that spot where the Indians have been up there with the Twins, competing every year, making us look bad, beating us about 16 times a year. It's our time to get some revenge. But I've got the Twins second, and of course, I've got us first. Even though we're 2-8 in spring training, and people could be writing us off already.
How many wins, Nath? How many do you reckon for the White Sox?
I think we get 95 and the Twins get 92.
95?
I think it goes right down to the end. I think it'll go down to the last week. The Twins and Sox will be going for that central title. I think I will put money on it right now. We have the second best record in the AL this year.
Well,
I'm that confident.
Who's getting the first? What, I suppose you'll have Yankees first.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
95 for the White Sox.
I think we push it. I've said to everyone, between 95 and 93 will be us this year. LaRusso knows what he's doing. He's taken charge, and he's taken us to 95 wins. We're winning that central title, finally.
All right. Confidence is right there. And the NL Central.
NL, they've taken over from us, that awful division where most teams are not great, and then the one good team in there is pretty much average in every other division.
Do you reckon the Cardinals? I think they're going to. Well, actually, you got more.
I've got no surprise. I've got Pirates coming last. I think everyone's got that. Then I've got the Reds as well, fourth. I think they've traded too much away. As Nick said earlier, they gave away one of the best closers for a bag of quavers, basically. They've done nothing. Then I've got the Brewers third. And as much as it pains me to say it, I've got the Cubs second. I'd love to put them last with no wins, but I reckon they've got enough. They take themselves to second, and then, no surprise, Cardinals win that division because there's not much stopping them.
No, I agree. Pete Pratt says 95. Oh boy. And Johnny Wall says some upset, but I think there was a general acceptance this was always going to happen. Oh, there's with a conversation in there. Pete Pratt saying big numbers there, Nath. Some big numbers. I've got AL Central. I've got Tigers 61. I've got the Indians at 79. I think they're going to regress, and then I think come trade deadline, they may even become sellers. I've got the Royals third with 79. I could have put them joint fourth, but no. Royals third. They've got a good young team there. Made some really good acquisitions in the off-season as well. They're going to be ones to watch. Then Twins 88, White Sox 89. I think White Sox will take the division by one, and it could come down to the last day. NL Central, I've got Pirates 62, one more than the Tigers. Don't worry, Pirates. You're not the worst team in my book. Reds 78, sold way too many pieces. They're sort of back on a rebuild. Cubs third, 81. Brewers second, 83. And Cardinals 91. I think we'll top that division. However, I think it will be the third best topping record, division title record. I think you got a point in, Nation. You made me think about that. But Cardinals are they'll probably win the division, but they're still like if they're in the NL East, how would they get on? Because that's a brutal division. So I think
if you
got a
put the
point there.
Cardinals in one of the East, yeah, as you said, divisions, they would just. I think they'd be a third place team.
I think
I
they
really do.
I think they would settle into that mix nicely. Yeah, that's an interesting point. All right, let's get on to the East. I tell you what, Nathan, while we're with you, mate, we'll start with you again. We'll work our way backwards. Let's go to the AL East, and then we'll go to the big juggernaut division, the NL East. So, Nathan, AL East.
Well, no surprise, got the Orioles coming last.
Oh.
I think everyone will have them coming last, I imagine. And then fourth, I think it'd be the Red Sox. I think the other three just have a bit more for them. I think this year, if they can get a few things together, they could push up, but I think they'll come fourth this year again. And then third, this is where I'm a bit controversial. I think the Blue Jays come third. I think they've brought in quite a few good pieces, but I think the Rays still have a little bit too much for them. Rays come second, and I have the Yankees winning 100 games this year, dead on, and winning that division.
Oof. And the NL East. Come on, Nathan.
Sorry, Pete, but I've got the Marlins coming last. They were brilliant last year, but everyone else is just a bit better this year. This is really hard. Fourth, unfortunately, I've got the Nats. I like the Nationals, but I've got them fourth. Third, sorry, Dave, but I've got you guys. I've got the Phillies coming third this year. As much as I wanted to give you a wild card spot, I think the Mets have just done a bit too much, and they might not Mets it this year. I know they are the April World Series champions every year. They go 30-0 in April and then end the year on 30 and 150 or silly numbers like that. They just fall apart. But I've got them second, and the Braves, I think they have the second best record in the NL this year.
I'd go with that. So you've gone through your divisions. Who would you have as the AL and NL wildcards?
Wild card for the AL, I've got the Angels against the Rays. I think the Angels they've got a bit of swagger about them this year, and I feel like this is their year. Trout will carry him there. He'll put the whole team on his back, and he takes them there.
All right.
And then in the NL, I've got the Mets and Padres, and I have the Mets to beat them.
Oh, mate, Nathan dropping some bombs. Mets to get through the wild card against the Padres, man. That's a big, big call. Callum says Nathan knows his AL East. David says let's go Mets. Charles says NL East is Brave, Mets, Phillies, Nats, Marlins. Pete Ramsey says NL East is the best division in baseball, without a doubt, mate. Okay, Nathan, lovely stuff, mate. Neil B says Braves 95, Nats 92. You've got to be a Nats fan, my friend. Mets 91, Phillies 83, Marlins 68. Oh, that's some big numbers. All right, Nathan, cheers, mate. Let's go to Mike. Mike, your AL East predictions.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of same as Nathan. To be fair, I love both divisions of the East. Even though it's not my league, they're my favourite leagues to watch because they're so exciting. So AL East, obviously Orioles last. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Yeah, again, I've gone Red Sox fourth. Blue Jays have made some big signings, but for me, it's still not enough. So third, Rays second, and Yankees at a canter. 100 wins, yeah, first. AL.
100 wins, like yeah, that's all right. Interesting. And NL East. Yeah. Again, come on.
Pete, I love you to bits, mate. But Marlins are last. Marlins are last here. Fourth, Washington.
Good man, I reckon. Yep. Come on.
Yeah.
This is good so far, so good.
Third, Phillies. Sorry, Dave. And then second, even though they've made some great signings, it's going to be the Mets because I've got the Braves to win the league.
How many wins, Braves?
95.
Yeah, they'll be in that sort of ballpark, I reckon. It's not far off.
They're a good thing.
James Baumgartner says Nat starters are being very underrated. Strass, Max Corbin, Lester, etc. You'll see. All right, some good Nats love in the chat. Your wild card predictions, Mike.
Again, exactly the same as now. So in the NL, obviously the Padres and the Mets, but the Mets don't beat them. It'd be a Padres, Dodgers, NLDS. And then in the AL, I want to go the Rays, and yeah, I've got a feeling about the Angels this year. A little feeling. I'm not sure. It's a
Wow.
Madden effect. It's a Madden effect.
So
Come
you
on.
think the Twins are going to miss out on the wild card?
I do. I think it's gonna be the Angels.
You Central boys are being savage on the old Twins there. Interesting. Okay, some good predictions. David D says Robbie Ray looks great this spring, so maybe this year is his year, and the Blue Jays finish second. Glad to hear about Robbie Ray because I drafted him last night. That's good news. Jack, at least your Yankees. Come on.
Right, yeah. So again, Orioles gonna finish last. Pretty standard. Again, I'm going Boston. They just haven't done anything this year to make me want to change where they finished last year, and then they're a shadow of the team that won the World Series. I'm going Tampa next. I think they've regressed. I think they haven't got really bad. They haven't improved in my opinion. They'll probably beat Tampa again and take a lot of wins, but I just don't. I think Blue Jays have jumped them to the next spot in the East. I think the Blue Jays are going to be a real pain in the backside for the Yankees for years and years to come. That infield they've got, and with the added of Springer, and just their pitching might let them down. And yes, the Yanks are not quite 100 wins for the Yanks. I'm going to say about 94 to 96 wins.
We've
I
got
think
exactly the same.
The rotation worries me. Apart from Cole, we got a lot of question marks with Kluber and Tyone, but yeah, it's going to be an easy win for the Yanks this year, I feel.
Well, if your players stay fully fit, relying on Stanton, Judge, and your big names actually lasting a year, that's been a problem for you guys.
That's the key. It's how many injuries will we get? We will get injuries. We've had Zach Britton, he's out for 4 to sort of 8 weeks. He's out. Got Luis Severino coming back from Tommy John. So hopefully those two can be like a sort of all-star break signing almost. Signing. So yeah, I think we've got that one kind of tied up, I think.
Right, before you start your analyst, Pete Pratt says Jack won't let me down. He knows the Marlins are full of studs. No pressure, Jack.
Pete, your optimism is second to none. But again, Marlins last. I think last season was such a fun story for them, but the 60 game season was played really into their hands. You add another 60 onto that, I don't think they're going to get anywhere near. So the Phils, sorry Dave, I'm going Phils in. I think they're just a bunch of choke artists. I think
what?
they're all
right,
sort of
thank you, Jack.
show.
And,
I'm going Nats third. I think their pitching's still good enough to get them third. I don't think it's good enough to get them anywhere near the top of the division. Mets, they've done well in getting Lindor, but I don't really see too much. But I see him improving. I do see him improving with they always got Rom, and the pitching's always really good. And the Braves, I think the Braves have been sort of hard done by in a few of the predictions from this sort of the experts. I think they're the second best team in the NL behind the Dodgers. So yeah, Braves about 96, 97 wins, I feel, on that one.
Yeah, again, I think it'll be in that ballpark. And your wild card for the AL and the NL?
Wild card, I've gone Twins and the A's. I don't see anyone from the East getting the wild card this year. And I've got the Twins winning that. I think they're pesky. When they're not playing the Yankees in the playoffs, they seem to at least get a couple of wins. And the NL, I've gone for the Mets and Padres, and the Padres winning that. I don't agree with Nathan. I think the Padres, if they're in any other division, would be their favourites to win. So yeah, I think Padres winning the wild card.
So far, it's a Padres Mets wild card full house. I can tell you now that won't last all the way through. Callum Koch says the depth of the Rays being criminally underrated in a year of potential injury problems. Depth will come good. Peter Ramsey says Boston have no pitching. It's awful. That's from a Boston fan. Neil B says it's the last stand for the Nats. So they were old last year. There's nothing wow in the farm system. They can replenish lineup. We said that in the preview pod last week. The Nats, this is probably it for the Nats. Pete says cut the feed. Not happy with everyone being so low. Right, let's go to Nick. Come on, Nick. Let's go with the AL East. What you got?
I think it's going to be pretty similar to other people. Got the Orioles at the bottom, the Red Sox in fourth. I've gone Rays in third, but could easily be swapping with the Blue Jays. I mean, I probably am underrating the Rays. They're a good team. So they're not quite the juggernaut, though, are they? They're not the juggernaut.
No, we've had the Rays juggernaut year. That was last year.
Yeah,
and
but
I was proved right.
Yankees on top of the division. It's hard to look past them, isn't it? If they stay healthy, they're the best team in that division, probably in the AL.
Yeah. And the NL East. Come on, Nick. Come on, lot of pressure here.
Okay, NL East. We're going with the Philadelphia Phillies in fifth place. They've spent a lot of money
Mate,
to not improve.
Re-signing real predictions, Nick. Real predictions.
Real predictions. Phillies in fifth. Phillies in fifth. In fourth place, I'm going to stick with the others. We're going to go with the Washington Nationals. I think they could be good, but they are getting older. There's a lot of question marks in the lineup. Phillies in fifth, Nats in fourth. Those Miami Marlins, third place in the division. I don't understand this. They had it all go their way with 60 games. No, they didn't. They had the biggest COVID outbreak in the whole of the majors. They dealt with more adversity than any other side. And look what they did with a young team. Third place. When Brian Anderson's going oppo with the boppo. Miggy Rowe.
Pete's giving him the script. Pete's giving him the script. No way.
What was that, Pete? Sorry. Can you repeat that? Yeah, Marlins in third there. I'm going to stick with everyone else, though. Mets in second, Braves in first.
Right, and quickly run the wild card. I've had enough of you today.
To be honest, I've actually got the same as everyone else so far. Mets and the Padres, I've got to stick with them. Padres winning that. In the AL, I have gone Twins like Jack, but I don't really believe this, but I have to say it. But also the Angels, and the Angels are going to win on their way to a World Series.
All right, yeah. Now we know you've had a few. Neil B says, I'm with Jack Brown on the Braves. They're such a solid lineup and have depth to cope with injuries. That's unique in the NL Central. Pete Pratt goes oppo with the boppo. You've made Pete a very happy man. George, AL East, George. What you got?
AL East, yeah. Let's start at the bottom, and I think the Orioles definitely going to be the worst, probably the worst in the AL if I'm going
below the
far.
Tigers and the Rangers.
Yeah,
that's a statement.
I think that's why I'll go with that. Red Sox in fourth. I think, as everyone else has said, they haven't done enough to really suggest that they've even properly started a full rebuild yet. So I definitely think they'll be fourth. I'm not sold on the Blue Jays yet. I think that they've got a great offense, but the pitching isn't there yet. So I've got them in third. I think that their time will come, but it's not yet. And I think people on this show are underrating the Rays. I know they've lost a lot of pitching in Charlie Morton having gone and Snell having gone, but if you underrate the Rays at your peril, they are a type of team that will survive. They're like sort of the cockroach that survives the nuclear explosion. They will find a way to make it work. They are there, so they're not going to win the division, but I think I've got them solidly in second, and the Yankees winning the division. As we said, and I think as Jack said, it depends on the health of the Yankees. If you've got them fully fit and firing, they're going to be a powerhouse. But if and a real danger, with the only question marks being, can they do it in October? But if they're not fit, then who knows? They could even potentially struggle against trying to pip the Rays. So I do think the Yankees will win the division though. And
here we go, George. The NL East.
Yeah, sorry, Pete. I've got the Marlins finishing last. I will probably make you happy with this, Dave, that I don't think the Phillies are going to be fourth. I think that the Nationals will be fourth. I just not. I don't know. Maybe it's just resentment over 2019 bubbling to the surface. But yeah, but yeah, I think the Nationals will be fourth. I think the Phillies will be third. I don't know whether you're going to get that nirvana of the over 500 record. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think the Mets will be second, and the Braves will win probably with 92 or 93 wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Wildcard.
Wildcard in the AL. I've got the wildcard game going to be between the A's and the Rays, and in the NL, I've actually gone. Mike's going to like me. I've got the Padres versus the Cubs in the.
Cubs?
Yeah, I that could be complete nonsense, and I'm happy to be embarrassed by this come October if that turns out to be horribly wrong. But yeah, that's how I see it. And the Padres will win that.
Some
Yeah.
big calls there. Callum thinks Marlins, Phillies closer than everyone, closer than most people think. Yeah, I think we'll both be just on the brink of the wild card. Right, all right. AL East, I've got Orioles 63. Orioles, I felt I was too harsh on you last year. I'm saying you'll get 10 wins, so I'm gonna put you ahead of the Rangers and the Tigers. Red Sox.
It was less than 10 wins, wasn't it?
It was 8.
Less than
Right,
10.
It was 8.
Yeah.
It was 8. Yeah. They won and treated me brutally. They started well last year, so they're gonna have the third worst record this year. Red Sox, I think they'll be 81. I think they have improved from what I've seen. I had a little look at their team. It's like, okay, it's good. It's still a tough division, but I think they'll be nearer to 500. I've got the Rays in third. The Rays always seem to know what they're doing. They're such a well-run team. They really are. But I don't know. I've got the Jays second at 88 and the Yankees on 95. I don't see Yankees getting to 100. Definitely not. But Jays, I think I'm going to pinch that second place. Then the NL East, Nats at the bottom. That's right. You're regressing. I'm sorry, but your rotation, we're relying so heavily on your rotation. Your bullpen's not great. Let's be honest. Soto, Turner, and then what have you got? You haven't got a lot. Let's be honest. I'm not buying this Nats hype, and I'm sorry. They're going to be the bottom feeders of the division for a couple of years to come now. They're going to be entering a rebuild. Marlins ahead of them on 79, just below 500. They could be in contention for a while, though, until the late stages. Then I've got the Mets third with 86. Then the Phillies on 87. Look, all right, it's a wild prediction, I know, but everyone sleeps on us and sleep on us at your peril, and I love it that everyone's sleeping on us.
Dave, why? You have not seen them finish above 500 in your whole time supporting the club. Why are they now suddenly this year finishing in second and 87 wins?
Good question there, Nick.
With the same team as last year.
Because the offense, top 10, top 5 in all the categories. Great offense. The one thing that let us down was the worst bullpen in history. That bullpen has got significantly better. We blew the most leads that the MLB had nearly ever seen in a season. We had taken the lead the second most times behind the Dodgers last season. Our stats were brilliant except for the bullpen. Our rotation's good. Don't write off Nola, Wheeler and Eflin. Matt Moore's looking like a new player this off-season. I know it's spring training. Chase Anderson looks great. The bullpen is looking absolute rock solid this spring. And it's going to click. 87, all right, maybe optimistic, but as long as the Phillies are relevant, as long as we are pushing for the wild card and postseason spot come September and not fade away, I'll be happy. However, I've got us in a wild card spot. And the Braves on 94, which means my AL East is... I've got Jays v Twins. I don't think anyone from the AL West is going to make it. I've got, Twins 88, Jays 88, and then A's 85. So, yeah, Jays, Twins, and NL East wildcard, the Padres v the Phillies. And the Phillies will, by then they'll be on fire. Because the fact they've made the wildcard, I can see them doing that as well.
Can we stop?
What do we stop? Mike, you had your Cubs in as a second place and possible wildcard. Johnny Wall says
Got a bit of recent pedigree with winning stuff, though, in fairness, and winning records.
Jane Baumgartner says, Dave, please write these down so we can roast people in October. Oh, it'll be on a podcast and it is on YouTube. It'll be there forever. Johnny Wall says, Dave, sound cool in the AL East. Pirates are just abject. We robbed them with the Josh Bell trade, says Neil. I agree with that. Peter Pratt says, hitting for the show, pitching for the dough. That's what I'm talking about, Pete. Wait till you see our rotation and bullpen. Eflin is going to break out. I'm telling you, Eflin's going to be a real stud this year. Johnny Wall says, Red Sox overall have improved. Better balanced roster and pitching. Some potential, can't be any worse. Yeah, I think they're just below 500. Pete Pratt says, Chase Anderson, come on. Mate, it's a new Chase Anderson. I'm telling you, and I say it every year. And World Series, guys. Okay, I'm just going to ask you for your World Series and your winners. I'm going to start it off with Yankees versus the Dodgers, and the Dodgers will go back to back. I can't see past it. George.
With my Astros hat firmly on, I think the Astros are underrated. Will get to the World Series, but unfortunately, I think the Dodgers are. You can't look past them, and I hate the thought of even if losing the World Series to the Dodgers would be unbelievably soul destroying. But yeah, I think it will. I think that's what's going to happen.
Interesting, Nick.
I refused to predict the Dodgers in another World Series or the Dodgers winning another World Series. So I'm ruling them out on that basis. What we're going to see is an all Southern California World Series, however,
Oh, crikey.
as the San Diego
What, the
Padres take
Giants?
on the Los
Oh,
Angeles
Padres.
Angels.
Whoa. Oh.
The big two in Southern California right there.
Nick. Jack,
Um,
how'd you follow that?
That's I know exactly. Yanks. I'm going Yankees, Dodgers, and I've got to go Yankees. I can't pick the Dodgers, can I? It's just
Yeah, it
crazy.
Would, yeah, it would be a bit odd. I think, do you know, I would like a Yankees Dodgers World Series. I think it would be a thriller. I really, especially if both teams are fully fit. I think it would be great.
they're the best two sides. The best two sides in baseball.
Yeah.
And you'll have a what's it called
Yankees best in what?
Cole Kershaw, maybe game one or whoever they line up. What's that, mate?
I said Yankees are best in what?
The best two
Best two teams in baseball.
Yeah,
Best two teams are spending money in baseball.
Best. Yeah, I mean Yankees historically, going back beyond 10 years. Yeah, great team. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I quite agree with that.
I think you're just being biased there. I think.
Yeah,
Definitely,
some bias is kicking in.
definitely the best two teams in baseball.
I think the Braves will push the Dodgers close in the NL, but that's the only team I can see getting near. Mike, World Series and the winners.
I'm going to go a bit left field here, and I'm going to go Yankees Padres, and I'm going to buy into the Padres.
Jesus, Mike, Padres.
Yeah,
like,
you know what? You
they
want
haven't even finished the rebuild yet.
You want bold takes? They've got Snell, they've got Darvish, they've got I don't know. Just why not?
If Padres won the World Series with still more to come and a young team, that could be a hell of a franchise for years to come.
I think it will be.
Nathan, here we go. This could be bold. Go on, Nathan. White Sox and who in the World Series?
Of course, I've got us versus the Dodgers, and it goes to a Game 7, and we just absolutely own them. Game 7.
Wow. Neil B says, if you reckon the Phillies will be ahead of the Nats at the season's end, then can I interest you in some real estate? I tell you what, Neil. Find me on Facebook after, and we'll have a little bet on the MLB community Facebook page. Well, I'll bet you that the Phillies finish ahead of the Nats this season. Johnny Wall says Pete has been turning over all evening. Time to hit the accelerator. Pete Ramsey says World Series Atlanta Braves. Yeah, that's the next nearest I can see from the national side. Charles Baldwin, as a Giants fan, this is painful, but White Sox v Dodgers. Dodgers in 6. He's got White Sox in the World Series as well. What? Neil B says the only thing that'll be beaten more than the Pirates in 21 is the bins at Minute Maid. Yes, Neil. Love a bit of Astro slander. Right, Cy Young, guys. Oh, no, sorry, Home Run Crown. Okay, I want 3 names and the winner and how many. Nathan, since you're on screen already, let's go with you.
For AL, it'll be no surprise. I'm going to go Mike Trout.
No,
he's going to win it.
Overall, AL and NL for home run.
Oh, okay. Joe, I'll go for him.
Trout overall?
Overall, it's going to be close, but I think he just pips. Can't think of anyone who gets close to him.
Really?
Yeah, he does it.
How many?
51, I think he does this year.
51?
Yeah.
You're loving your big numbers tonight, Nave.
He's going to have one of his best years this year. That's how Angels are getting there.
Wow. Big takes. Mike.
Jock Pederson, 45. Done.
Jock Pederson at 45?
I'm buying into the hype day.
Wow. Leon Boyne says, Nick, can I have some more salt, please? That's, of course, Dodgers UK. Jack, who's taking the home run crown? How many?
I'm going Judge, 45. If he stays fit. If he stays fit, the size of the guy, the ease he can hit home runs at Yankee Stadium. it's all about injuries. With him, I can't see anyone getting close. I've got Judge, maybe Bellinger and Trout, the two behind him. But yeah, Judge 45 for me.
Interesting. Nick, Trout.
Just going to sprinkle this all over Leon. I mean, I have to say Trouty, don't I? I've got him down as 48, although he was on pace for 50 last year, 51, I think, in a normal season. So this is the year Trouty breaks 50, supposedly.
Pete Ramsey says Trout 48 as well. Charles Barwin says Nelson Cruz at 45 and Azuna at 46. Interesting call. George.
AL home run king Yordan Alvarez with 44 home runs. He's going to have a huge season coming back in the team. I think if Judge stays fit the whole year, I think he'll do it, but he's not. So it's going to be Yordan Alvarez with 44. I think
you do know Yordan Alvarez has been injured for how long?
Well, he played 2 games last season in 60-game season.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, but he's back. He played today. It's his first game back in.
A bit rich saying if Judge can stay fit when he's picked Alvarez, but
yeah, wait. Let's see. You want these wild predictions? As wild as you get, mate. So that's he'd be in the AL, and I think Bellinger in the NL with 40.
Yeah, I've got Suarez with 40. I think Suarez is still going to rake in that central for the Reds. And Bellinger, I'm going to go home run crown with 41. I think Bellinger's a sound pick. Again, if he can stay fit. It's a big question mark with these big hitters. Right, Cy Young, AL and NL. George, who you got?
In the NL, I think not great surprise going for DeGrom. I think he's just going to be awesome again. Don't think there's much... I think he's going to do it again. He will have competition. I think maybe pitchers like Darvish and a couple others could push him, but I think DeGrom will win it. And in the AL, this is a tricky one. I don't know how good Garrett Cole's going to be this year for the Yankees, but I think he will win. I think he'll win that Cy Young. I don't know if I quite believe that Bieber's going to be as good as he was last year again for the Indians. So I'll
never say never.
Oh, Nick. That was terrible. I don't think George even got it.
It took me a moment, and I was just like, "Yeah, that must be what it is." Yeah.
Neil B says Trout 46 as well. He's going for Trout MVP. Home run king, just ahead of Judge. Nick.
So I can't disagree with George on the NL. I mean, DeGrom for me, he's got to be the favourite, and if he pitches anywhere near his potential, it's another one in the bag. In the AL, it's either Lord Bundy, but probably not. No, my real shout, although probably outside the box, is Luzardo of the Oakland A's.
I like that. Yeah, good shout. That's better. He's been doing his research. Jack.
Yeah, DeGrom again. He's the class of the field in the NL, isn't he? And Garrett Cole, I think he's settled into the Yankees now. He should have won a Cy Young before now with the Astros, I feel. So yeah, he's all primed to really kick on and get. I think it's only the Yankees would only have their 4th ever Cy Young for all the stuff they've won, and they've only ever had three Cy Youngs in their whole history. So it's not an award the Yankees win very often. So yeah, I'll go Garrett Cole and DeGrom.
All right. Gavin says Suarez by day, the first bit of sense I've heard all night. Go on, Nick.
What was that? Sorry, Dave?
I said Gavin says Suarez by day, the first bit of sense all night.
Yeah, if that.
Oh,
if that.
Well, Mike, AO and NL Cy Youngs.
NL Cy, I actually went for if he pitches as well as he did last year, Yu Darvish.
Good man, he's my first draft pick.
Good shout.
Over DeGrom, I went for Yu Darvish, and AL. Sorry, Jack, I went for Bieber.
Disappointing. Nathan.
Surprisingly, no White Sox players here.
What?
I'm going to give New York a lot of love here, though. Anyone who thinks Trevor Bauer could do it, they can take that prediction, shove it in the bin. I know no one on here said it, but anyone who thinks it out there, a fluky season last year, never happening again. But give it to DeGrom. He deserves it. He deserved it last year. He's going to win it this year. And I'm not the Yankees' biggest fan, but Garrett Cole, he's going to win it. He's going to have the most wins as a pitcher in the AL. He's going to have the best strike rate. He's going to smash probably all the stats this year. And he deserves it. He's deserved it for a while, and he's going to win it this year finally. And that's the nicest thing I'll say about the Yankees.
Ethan knows what he's talking about.
Overpaid,
He's been
overrated.
spot on this whole episode.
What are you talking? Wash your mouth. I've gone for the two Bs. I've gone for Bieber in the AL, and I've gone for Walker Buehler in the NL Cy Young. I think Walker Buehler, and I'm going to put money on it. I am so confident that that'll be good. I reckon it'll be good odds as well. I reckon Walker Buehler. What we got? We've got Pete Ramsey says AL Cole, NL. Oh, Walker Buehler as well. You know, Pete knows. And Neil says Cole for the AL and Flaherty outside shot there for the NL. That's a good call, actually. It's not bad. But nah, Bieber and Buehler, I reckon. Right, MVPs. George, AL and NL MVPs. I reckon we're going to have a good mix here.
Let's just rename the AL MVP award the Mike Trout Award because he's going to win that again.
Come on.
He's going to win it again. Who's come on? Who's going to finish ahead of him?
I've got Ohtani.
All right. Well, there you go. I think Nick will like that as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty much cut and dried. Sorry to be boring. I think on the back of what I've said with him winning the home run crown in the NL, I think it'll be Bellinger who takes the MVP award there as well.
Interesting. All right. I think we have a good variety here. Nick.
Finally. Tramps. I thought I'd keep you waiting. So in the AL, I think George says it. I mean, it's probably Mike Trout, but it's boring. I also have Shohei Ohtani down on my list just because if he's healthy for a year and he's pitching to his potential and hitting bombs, how can you not vote for a guy like that?
Yeah.
In the NL, I've got Ronald Acuna.
Oh, good shout. That's a good That's a good shout. I'm glad someone's a bit out of the box with a good realistic pick. Jack.
Yeah, I don't think Mike Trout should win the MVP area because he's not. If you take the definition of MVP, is he really valuable to a team that doesn't make playoffs? How valuable can you be? But that's another chat for another day. I'm going DJ LeMahieu. I think he should have won it last year. I think he's been very hard done, but I think he's MVP for last year, and I think he's going to win it this year. And for the MVP of the National League, I'm going Mookie Betts. I think he's really going to this year.
There's my NL pick.
Yeah, Mookie Betts on the Dodgers.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that LeMahieu shout. I like that. Again, he's got to stay fully fit. That's the problem with all your players, isn't it? Stays fully fit, and again, he's going to have such a big season.
It's a terrible shout. Should be nowhere near an MVP award.
Yeah, I agree with Jack. I've got in my notes Mike Trout, but only if they make postseason. Like, I don't think he should get it just because it's Mike Trout. So, if not, I'd go Alex Bregman.
Oh, not again. Good shout.
Over Mike Trout. And then NL, yeah, I've gone Mookie. He was my first draft pick last night. He's going to smash it.
Yeah, I think Mookie, again, fully fit. I think he's the best player in baseball. Nathan.
I'm going to take Trout out of the AL because I just think, as everyone said, it's the Mike Trout award. So I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to go Aaron Judge if he stays fit. Only if he stays fit this year. I think he might have his MVP season. I know 2017 should have been apparently, even though it went to the right guy that year. But this year...
wrong. You're wrong, but let's just move on.
Yeah, let's move
on. This year, I feel like Judge gets... If he stays fit, and then for the NL, it's going to be my first pick last night, Acuna. He's going to take it. He's going to lead in RBIs. He'll be up there with home runs and stolen bases.
Interesting. I would have... I've gone for Ohtani because, as Nick said, if he stays fit, like pitching and batting, and if he lives up to expectation, it's just going to be incredible. I've gone for Betts. I've gone for a Freddie Freeman push, just because I love Freddie. And I think that Freddie's Freddie last season was just unbelievable. I think if he can do that again, Freddie Freeman's going to be there or thereabouts. That Braves team just scares me. Looking at the list, they've got Freeman, Acuna could both be MVPs in that team. Neil B says Trout for everything, but the boat race in the AL. And I'll be the homer. I can't see, but Juan Soto. I can't. My screen's going funny. I'm sorry, Neil.
You're right there, Dave.
I've got dirt on my screen and I can't see what's been said. Neil B does says LeMahieu. He's Harry Kendrick in a bigger profile team. Jack. Oh,
Let's
stunned.
let's just move on from that. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's just,
Counting stats shouldn't really count in Yankee Stadium. It's just too easy. I could probably hit a home run in there.
but the thing was, when he came to the Yankees, they said, "Oh, he's moving from Coors Field. Can he do it anywhere else?" Yes, he can, and he's by far the best overall hitter in the game. And we're going to go back to the Mike Trout conversation. I don't want to do that.
No, we could be here all night. Any big surprises, wild takes, and wild predictions, guys? What do we reckon?
I think I've already made my wild prediction.
Well, I think we all have, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I think the normal show. George, you got anything?
Well, I mean, the surprises for me, just from the predictions, that I do think that the Astros are hugely underrated in the wake of everything that's happened, and also the fact that we were poor in the 60-game season last year. I think we can make it all the way to the World Series, and I think the Cubs will finish second in and get the wild card in the NL Central. So I think those are two pretty big surprises.
Yeah, George, for the Astros, we're saying Nationals last hurrah. This is going to be the Astros sort of last hurrah, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think that the pitching side of things, we've got a lot of rookies coming through. It depends how they pitch in front of crowds this year, because they did really well last year in extremely trying circumstances. Lineup-wise, still got. I mean, again, it's about how Altuve bounces back. He obviously had a great postseason. Bregman didn't even have a great postseason. He had a poor regular season and then a poor postseason. So I think that if he can bounce back, we've still got a lineup that's good. We've got Brantley next year as well as this year. Carlos Correa is that's the big question. Can we get him to re-sign? Because if we can't, then we're probably looking at a different profile of a team. We're looking at a team that's probably going to become more like the Rays or the A's, trying to cut costs where we can and make the best of players that are sort of under the radar and do that kind of thing. I don't think that you're going to see us crumble if Correa leaves, but if he does stay, I think that window extends a bit longer.
No, all right, good answer. Nick, you got any big shocks, surprises?
Yes, there is going to be another cheating scandal in Houston. Jose Altuve's buzzer is going to be uncovered. We're going to see it in all its
Don't
glory.
even start, mate, with that nonsense. Honestly, let's not talk about buzzers and fabricated
There's also
stuff.
going to be a scandal in Houston. It's going to be double scandal. Buzzer and Peds.
Move on.
Do we think, of course, no fans last year robbed us of the Astros getting booed at every ballpark? Do we think the Astros are going to get a tough treatment this time?
Of course they will. Yeah, absolutely they will. I think that that they should expect that. It's a bit harsh on the rookies who weren't anywhere near that 2017 team, but it comes with the territory of after what happened. The crowds will be they'll be vociferous in the booing. They'll be hugely aggressive from what they can, and fair play. I think that the players have to be ready for it. It's deserved because the scandal was what it was, and they got to deal with it, and then they got to shut people up and make it all the way to the World Series. So they're going to do it.
Yeah, Jack, any big shocks?
I don't think this is a shock, but I think a lot of people will, because I think he's massively overrated. I agree with Nathan. Trevor Bauer is one of the most overrated Cy Young winners you'll ever see. He's in his whole career, he's only ever had, I think it's 2 seasons with an under 4 ERA, and one of them was last year.
Yep.
So I think he's going to go back to his sort of mean kind of thing and go back to having a 4.5, maybe 5 run ERA. I think he's overrated, and I can't believe the Dodgers are paying him the money they're paying him. So
I agree with you. I think
may find that not as like a shock. I don't think it's a very bold. I think he is who he is, and I think that's who he is.
Jack, I agree with you. I think that he's not going to gel well in the whole LA environment at all. I think that this could be one that I didn't come back to bite them because they're so good in so many other areas. But I think that Bauer's not going to be hit there at all.
Right. So expecting Jack to come back.
No, I agree with George for a change. I think he's doing that stuff of closing his one eye
Yeah, what
and
is that
pitching, and
about?
then
Yeah,
and then
what
he's
Oh,
is
the
hitting
that?
a
one-eye
guy,
pitching.
and
What
he's
is that?
hitting guys and things like that. I think if it was LA, I think there's a real chance he could get booed. But I don't think LA they're going to boo him. Like if he was in New York, that would be
Oh man, yeah.
biggest disaster. Whether that's with the Mets or Yankees, that would have been the biggest disaster.
Yeah.
He's just an attention seeker, and he's just a
You
Yeah.
don't know. You don't know Dodgers fans. Then absolutely, if he gets out of line, will be.
Yeah,
booed.
they'll know.
Oh, there
I
you
think
go. Yeah,
Dodgers
so
would. Yeah, I agree.
oh yeah, so
I think they would.
Trevor Bauer will be booed at some point during the season by his own fans because of his
Antics, yeah.
his antics.
That's
This
why-
game. I was going to say something, but I reined it in.
If he'd signed for the Phillies and started his antics, God, it'd be snowballs and boos and cheesesteaks thrown at him. It'd be a hell of a sight. Mike, any big shocks you got?
No, I mean, I think I've kind of said him anyway with like the Cubs coming. NL
Second,
Central
yeah, that's probably
top.
the biggest one.
And the Angels getting a wild card probably. But I agree with what we've just gone on about. I think Bauer's going to flop. And 40 million for he's obviously a good pitcher, but I don't see it. And I just think he's a bit of a I'll leave it at that.
Nah, because there's some Dodgers, no Dodgers fans are in chat. We could hear some Dodgers fans about how they see Bauer and.
Well, the thing is, Dave, as well, none of us called it NL Cy Young. None of us called it, and I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
It's also his like off the field stuff as well.
Yeah,
It's all attention seeking. It was all funny at the start of the Twitter stuff.
I think the baseball for him is just the side project. It's all about Bauer, and yeah, I'd love him to fail. I hate to say it.
Well, it could be if he does. It could be interesting for the Dodgers, and of course the Dodgers. They're going to try to get the World Series again. If he fails and flops massively, how much time are they going to give him? They can't afford to have a pitcher flopping, especially when when the Padres could be hot on their heels. Nathan.
My only real wild, well, I was going to say what Jack said about Bauer getting booed by his own fans. I could see that happening just because as everyone said, his antics and the way he just goes around like he's bigger than baseball. And the Dodgers should be grateful that he's there and he's chose the Dodgers. But besides Bauer, use words I can't use. I've got DeGrom going 6 scoreless against the Padres in the wild card game. I think the Padres maybe get 1 run there. I think DeGrom will absolutely shut him out while he's on that mound against them. I think that'll be see a perfect game as well again this year.
Wildcard pitches
like
are so tough to call because depending on how hard they're fighting to get there, they may have to use him shortly beforehand.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
And they'll be fighting the Phillies all the way. So
they'll be fighting the Phillies for some extra wins.
Brilliant. I've got the Royals to have a good season. I think they are going to finish third in the AL Central. I think they'll be just below 500. I think they're going to be sneaky good. I think people are ruling out the Royals as being the bottom feeders guarantee. I don't think so. I think a lot of people are overlooking that Royals team. I think they're going to surprise, and I think they will finish ahead of the Indians. And also Neil B. Yeah, let's have that bet about Nationals Phillies because I think we'll finish above the Nationals this year. So I'll find you on Facebook, mate. I think that's it, guys. I think that's a wrap. I think we're there, guys.
Yeah.
A big thanks to George, Nick, Jack, Mike, and Nathan for coming on, guys. Great to have you on again. And for you guys, of course, watching on YouTube, thank you very much. And for listening on the PTBNL podcast. This will be going out on podcast very shortly. We are just under 3 weeks away from opening day. We are 3 weeks to the day away from our first live in-play runs show where we'll be broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll have all the games covered by a good 6, 7 of us again. It's going to be a little different from last year. It's going to be better than last year. We'll have us all on screen, better graphics, better text, better everything. We'll be bigger and better next season. Guys, in the comments, thank you so much for getting involved as well. The comments have been really active. It's great to see. And again, during the live shows, join us, get involved. We'll give you all shout outs. But that's it, guys. That's it until 3 weeks' time, and we're back live again. Hit the subscribe button if you've liked what you've heard on the podcast or the YouTube channel. But from myself and the guys here, good night, and we'll see you for opening week.